obeisances to our spiritual teachers, to be in the right mood, in the mood of request, in the mood of humility. So join me as we recite the invocation mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashta Preyashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Utamas Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continued reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, Creation, chapter. We are in the last part on chapter 6 entitled Conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva. So previously, what happened was um, Vyasadeva asked regarding the story ni guru niya, which is Narada Muni. And Narada Muni explained yung life niya, told his story from previous life up until he met Krishna. So in between, he met different Bhaktivedantas, his gurus. And then Radha Muni went to the forest because his mom died. He went to the north, but he wasn't tempted sa mga offering ni Maya. Either metropolis ba niyan, heavenly kind ng forests. Sabi nga, kasing ganda na pwedeng tirahan ng mga denizens ng heaven. But he was not bewildered and attracted by it. Rather, nag-focus siya sa meditation sa super soul within the heart, kay Krishna within the heart. Then, nagkaroon siya ng darshan. Nakita niya si Krishna for some time. Then, bigla nawala Krishna. It is Krishna's arrangement for him to intensify his love. Then, habang kakahanap niya kay Krishna, he heard Krishna. Krishna talked to him and told him, this lifetime, hindi na niya makikita si Krishna. It will be on the next lifetime. At one point, Krishna still instructed him to continue his journey in spiritual life. So, after that lifetime, Narada Muni died and met death. So he died, took up another spiritual body because he already is mature in his spiritual practice. So he took up now his present body, Narada Muni, pero may kakaiba, may twist. He is the transcendental time traveler. He could travel in different places in all the parts of the material universe. Even he is able to go to the spiritual world. So, yun yung boon sa kanya. Anong ginagawa ni Narada Muni? He is always spreading the good news. He's always spreading Krishna consciousness, singing, preaching, initiating other disciples. So, yeah, watch out. Baka mamaya nakakasama niyo pala sa Narada Muni dyan. So, continue reading from text 34 na tayo. It is personally experienced by me that those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to desiring contact of the senses with their objects can cross the ocean of nescience on a most suitable boat. The constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. So to cross this material ocean daw, so sobrang hirap, kaya material ocean. If one is swimming in an ocean, it's almost impossible na makross niya yung ocean to go to another place. Just swimming alone. So, sobrang hirap na ito. And from the last line ng purport ni Sri Prabhupada in the text 33, he mentioned, Narada Muni penetrates into the presence of the Lord by the transcendental chanting. At the same time, on the next verse, yung 34 yung binasa natin, yung constant chanting na to, ito yung boat to easily cross that ocean. Because that ocean is also Krishna's energy. Sabi niya sa Bhagavad Gita, this divine energy of mine is very difficult to overcome. Hindi basta-basta mo overcome to. One could not just take it whimsically, invent something, and thinking na cross yung ocean na yun. I'm awakened. Then, hindi ako maapektuhan ng material energy na it is just different kind of illusion. Kaya yung title natin today is Lockdown or Freedom. Later, explain further, ano ba talaga yung freedom? Hanggang kailan ba tayo nala-lockdown? And yeah, sad to hear, yesterday narinig ko na sa ECQ na naman yung bubble natin. We cannot deny, I have a lot of friends, close friends na positive ngayon. Tapos, yeah, good thing. Symptomatic sila pero good thing, nakakahinga pa naman daw sila. Pero ang weird daw ng pang-amoy nila. Ano. Sa another, lockdown na yung city, lockdown pa sila sa bahay. Ang daming lockdown. Pero ultimately, parang palagi pala tayong lockdown dito. Yeah. The symptom of a living being is that he cannot remain silent even for some time. So tuloy-tuloy daw. Tuloy-tuloy yung mga um, yung tao in desiring, thinking, willing, and feeling. Hindi raw matahimik. Generally, the materialistic men think and discuss about subjects with which satisfy their senses. So because of this, one is shackled, nakakatali sila, nakabound sila because of these senses. They're not satisfied even sa mga nangyayari. So paano yung mga paano ba yung pagkakakulong na to? Paano ba yung pagiging tied up natin sa mga nangyayari sa material world? Navadip Chandra Babu, good morning. Nice to have you and see you again. Anything you can
Good
discuss regarding this
morning,
verse po?
everyone. Yes, sabi nga yung ano na yun, yung pagkakakulong natin sa senses. Kasi, kumbaga, ang point is, mostly we are, ano tayo ng mind natin. Kasi yung parang ginagawa nating authority yung mind natin. And at the same time, nako-control pa tayo ng senses natin. Pag gutom, gusto kumain, ganun. So, parang walang self-control. Parang yung analogy nung yung charioteer yung soul, and then yung driver, and then yung yung tali is yung nagko-connect doon is yung mind, tapos yung mga kabayo is yung mga senses. And then, pag hindi natin makokontrol yun, kung saan tayo dadalhin nun. So, in that way, maliligaw tayo, and then actually, dun nga pagka unknown talaga yung pupuntahan natin, wala tayong clue, andun yung fear. So, ngayon, kaya nga, pinag-aaralan natin to is paano makokontrol yun, yung mga senses na yun, para hindi tayo dalhin kung saan. So, sabi dito, yun nga, para makontrol natin is dapat si mind meron siyang authority or meron siyang base na pinagkukuhanan ng knowledge niya. Kasi kung hindi, sabi daw, if we follow our mind, we follow our karma. Parang yung aso na ang gagawin niya lang buong araw is mag-sniff kung saan ng food. Tapos saan siya napunta. So, hindi tayo ganun. ang pinagkaiba ng human life sa animal life is meron tayong chance na magkaroon ng higher consciousness, and that is ano hindi lang tayo basta naghahanap ng food or anything na ikakasaya natin. So ang purpose natin in this lifetime is ma-realize kung sino tayo. Yes, we are not this body. We are spirit soul. And ano ba yung duty ng spirit soul? To reconnect and to reconnect sa relationship ng creator, which is si God, si Krishna, and do whatever it takes for us to go back home, back to Godhead. So parang ano yun naglayas na anak na ayaw ng association ayaw sa bahay. Although alam niyang mayaman yung tatay niya, pero ayaw. Gustong maging independent, kung anong gusto niyang gawin na walang magkocontrol sa kanya. Pero kahit na masakit para sa tatay na naglayas yung anak at gustong iligtas, gagawin lahat ng tatay, ipapadala yung kaibigan or encourage mo naman si ganito, kamusta na kaya siya, ganito. So,
Nag-less ka na ba dati, bro? Pumunta ka sa temple.
pumunta ako sa temple.
Ganun,
Nabanggit mo yan
alam ko
nabanggit mo
yun,
yan,
ganun
naalala
tayo
ko.
nung yung, alam ko ganun din ako nung high school Parehas tayo
Teenager.
nakikita tayo sa kontra kasi yung family, nakikita tayo sa temple. Yung iba hindi
Oo.
nagpaalam or iba yung paalam.
Oo. Paalam ko nga no'n skateboard pero sa temple pala ang punta. Sabi ko, may competition po. Sige, pag competition, bibigyan ka ng pera. Pero pag sa temple, bahala ka, hindi ka papunta ron. Anyway, so ayun, yun nga, lalo na nung nag full time ako, nagpaalam ako. Sabing
Oo.
gano'n. Sabing gano'n. Hindi muna ako magbo-board exam. Mag-aano muna ako sa temple. Nagulat na gulat sila. Nagulat yung tatay ko. Alam mo, pinag-aral ka sa pribadong paaralan. Wala ka namang narinig sa amin. Hindi ka naman nahirapan. Tapos sasabihin mo, after ng eskwela mo, magte-temple ka na. Ano ba yan? Sabi niya. Wala. Hindi. Labas lang dito. Hindi, temple pa rin ako.
Ayun yung kakaibang layas natin hindi tayo pariwara.
Oo. Oo.
Papunta naman sa temple. Yeah, please continue sa example mong parang naglayas. Tapos papadala daw yung mga kaibigan to check out.
Yun. Krishna or yung tatay natin, do whatever it takes. Kahit ayaw na ayaw natin yung instruction niya, yung niya, gusto natin magsaya independently. Ginagawa niya yung way para makabalik tayo sa kanya. Yun lang yung pinakaano doon. And then, actually, pag nalaman natin yun, and then, who we are to not to reciprocate on the longing or the separation ng tatay natin o ng loved one natin. And alam mo naman si Krishna yung pinaka beloved natin na siya yung ultimate na recipient daw ng love actually. And then doon tayo magiging full. Doon tayo magiging satisfied kasi kahit anong roaming around natin dito sa material world, never tayong satisfied actually. So actually gusto kong dito yung sinabi ni Vyasa. Concluding his instruction to Vyasadeva on the literature, Vyasa should now write. Narada reiterates his personal realization. It is personally experienced by me that those who are always full of cares and anxiety due to desiring contact of the senses will with their object can cross the ocean of desires on the most suitable boat, the constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Ang point dito is yung hope. Kasi kung hindi tayo kung ang daming nakita lang natin is, mahirap, Ocean of the Science or Ocean of Miseries, ganito. 'Pag di tayo nag-hope or hindi tayo nagkaroon ng faith, then there's no way of trying. And then kung titignan natin, marami na tayong it's a millions of years that we are almost rotting here in this material world actually. So, ito na yung hope na mismo si Narada Muni na-experience niya and then kaya niyang gawin through by chanting of the holy name. Kaya pala. Merong hope. So, we can try, and then in that way may makikita o malalasahan natin yung taste na kung ano man yung sinasabi ni Radha Muni. So later on maririnig natin in the later verse kung ano nga ba yung mga yun.
Yes, napakaganda yun. Because without this hope, without this boat, sobrang hirap. Sabi nga, ang daming busy yung mga tao sa mga maraming activities. And they are in anxiety doing that activities, thinking na masasatisfy yung sarili nila. The only thing is, it will never be satisfied. Kaya nga siya tinatawag na illusion or maya. Ibig sabihin nun, what is not, ayun yung maya. Hindi siya talaga totoo. And to easily cross that, ano yung boat na yon? Ayun yung binigay ni Radha Muni na ba't siya nagka-travel. He's sending out actually a lot of activities for people to be connected to Krishna again in the form of yung pastimes ni Krishna and much more yung glories ng names ni Krishna. Harikatha, the pastimes and the leelas of Lord Hari or Krishna. At the same time, connected yan sa activities ni Lord Chaitanya. One of the main purpose pa bumaba si Lord Chaitanya to spread Krishna's holy name. Is the easiest process for the perfection of life, spiritual life, to chant Krishna's name. So it was being done by the teachers sa ating disciplic succession. And hindi natin kailangan i-imitate yun, but we could follow the footsteps. Sri Prabhupada mentioned, yung nangyari sa kay Narada Muni. This is stated from personal experience by such an authority as Sri Narada Muni. And we can have the same experience also if we begin to follow the footsteps of the great sage, the dearmost devotee of the Lord. That's why it is very important to be in the line of disciplic succession, to have a spiritual teacher in our in the journey sa path natin sa spiritual life. We cannot do it alone. It is an illusion thinking that one could surpass this illusion. Pag inisip mo na kaya mo si Maya, you're already in Maya. One should be always in that mood of surrender. Pag inisip na natin na whimsically going against tayo sa scriptures, thinking we're smarter than our teachers, thinking that we're smarter than the scriptures, that's already in Maya. We could ask in clarification, but in challenge, no, in that mood already, illusion na siya. In the text 35, it is true that by practicing restraint of the senses by the yoga system, one can get relief from the disturbance of desire and lust. But this is not sufficient to give satisfaction to the soul, for this satisfaction is derived from devotional service to the personality of Godhead. And totoo yun. The real purpose of yoga is to relieve ourselves sa disturbance ng desire sa lust. Prabhupada mentioned, yoga aims at controlling the senses. It will help to control the senses. sometimes merong mystic power na ibibigay. Di ba? But that is not the goal. Kasi it will still not satisfy the soul. The only thing that could satisfy the soul is devotional service to the Supreme. It could satisfy the body though. Pwedeng ma-relax tayo. Pero it will help us. It could help big time in performance ng devotional service. Pero that is not the goal. We should not interchange that. Yes, Prabhu Navadip.
Naalala ko yung first time ko na na-experience yung yoga na yan. Wala akong kamalay-malay sa yoga, so tinry ko. And then yung teacher magaling eh. Ang sinasabi niya, itong ano na to, itong posture na to is for that physical or for the organ. And then kaya kailangan mag-breathing, ganyan, proper breathing while staying on the posture. And then at the same time, meron din siyang sinasabi about sa mind na ito, sabi nga niya yung mountain pose, ako tayo lang ng ganun. Tapos ang result daw nun is yung determination or ground, parang balance. Nakatayo lang, tapos ganun na. So, edi susunod lang ako. Tapos, nung napansin ko nung bandang huli, pagkatapos namin mag-yoga, feeling ko ang bait-bait ko. Parang bagong tao ako na, ba't ganun? Anong nangyari? Ganun lang naman ako, napagod lang ako or hindi naman napagod kasi na-relax ako eh, na-relax. Dahil dun sa ano, relaxation. Pero yun nga, yung sinabi dito na yung yoga is malaking tulong sa mind natin and then sa body to keep the body and soul together, to keep the body healthy in order for us to think nicely or higher consciousness, and then mas madali siyang i-connect kay Krishna or i-connect sa creator natin, i-connect sa God. Na yun nga, feeling ko nga bait-bait ko eh, na parang wow, kakaiba. Iba yung feeling, di ko mapaliwanag. Feeling ko lang talaga mabait ako dahil kakayoga ko lang. Tapos yun, after mga ilang days, di naman ako nag-yoga. Tapos nag-yoga ulit ako, ganoon ulit. Parang nakakabait pala yung yoga, parang gano'n. Basta proper lang yung execution ng posture mo, yung breathing mo and all. Ay, ulit-ulitin ko nga. Ayun. So, natuwa lang ako na yung pala yung effect nun. So, nakapag-isip ako ng devotional service.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
yun nga yung dati hindi ko naman ginagawa. Alam mo yung 'pag masaya ka tapos mabait ka, tapos yung may nakikita ka sa meme na ano ba yun, parang gano'n yun, eh, yung feeling mo after mo mag-yoga, yung crush ka rin ng crush mo. Sabi mo, "Ma, ako na. Ma, ako na." Ikaw na yung kikilos lahat, kahit pagod na pagod ka na, kilos ka sa bahay.
Mm.
Alam mo yun, gano'n, gano'n.
Ang ganda
Nakakabait.
siguro kung ano 'no, kung part ng curriculum ng school natin may yoga talaga 'no.
Oo.
Feeling ko iwas kulit yung mga bata. Feeling ko di ako makulit ng bata kung nag-yo-yoga ako nung bata ako, eh.
Oo.
May meditation saka yoga 'no?
Hmm.
Kasi yung mga
Kaya
sports dati masyadong extreme talaga, eh.
nga. Kaya sila Radha Yoga may offering yata ng mga yoga para sa mga kids,
Oh,
eh, 'no?
yeah, yeah, importante
Oo,
'yan,
ayun.
importante
Eh, kung
'yan.
sali kaya tayo dun 'no? Pang kids.
Baka tayo yung manggulo sa mga kids 'no? Lalo sumakit yung ulo
Okay.
nila sa mga kids. And yeah, totoo yun. This yoga system in the asanas, it's a big help. It's a big help. Although there are a lot of misconception nowadays. Sabi nga nung mga senior na mga yoga teachers na wala na yung mga real gurus. 'Di ba? Yung mga pumunta talaga, yung mga nag-introduce ng mga Ashtanga yoga in New York, um, yung mga nagbaba nung from India, yung in asana form. Kasi may guru and disciple line din sila, eh. It is not just certification. You must live with the guru practicing yoga. And you have to be qualified. Yung certification, just lately lang naman yun, eh. Pero that was the ideal before. Di pa rin masama na nangyari na mas dumami yung nag-yoga because it's a gateway to know the spiritual side of yoga. So yeah, actually it is the duty of yoga teachers to spread yung yoga system. At the same time, let yung students go deeper according sa mga capacity ng students. Hindi porket pumunta yung student sa sa yoga studio tapos explain mo na yung yoga ladder, eh yung gusto niya mas mag-relax muna. According to their capacity, the yoga teacher should be expert on how to see ano yung capability ng mga students in understanding yoga. There will be much more advanced students na they want to go deeper. They want to know more. They want to get to the root of yoga. So the teacher should be knowledgeable, should be able to make such endeavors para ma-qualify niya yung sarili niya to represent yoga. Because yoga is everything. Yoga is universal. Diba? Sobrang makikita mo to sa paligid. And all ages nga siya eh. Like other sports could be practiced pero you should retire on a certain age kasi the body could not um, carry that anymore. Yoga all age. Ang dami ko nakitang in older stage ng buhay nila, nag-yoga pa rin sila. Diba? And still, ayun nga eh, it is very important to do this because it helps in controlling the senses. Pero one should not
May
stop there.
hmm,
Navadip Chandrabu.
may naalala lang ako about sa yoga na yun ulit. Sabi daw, ewan ko kung yung ang nagsabi naman nito is yung teacher, teacher ng Kung Fu. Australian siya pero teacher siya ng Kung Fu. So, sabi niya gano'n. Yung yoga daw, yung Kung Fu is nanggaling sa yoga. Kasi yung yoga daw, lahat ng mga posture noon, hindi, lahat ng mga strike nung Kung Fu is galing sa yoga with the force and with the breathing. Kasi kunyari, yung yoga is may posture, naka-still yung posture, and then with the breathing. Tapos, kinuha ng Tai Chi. Ang Tai Chi is flow ng posture ng yoga, pero hindi sila masyadong nag-still. Gumagalaw sila with breathing also. And then nung pinabilis na yung mga movement na yon with with force and with breathing also, naging kung fu siya. Natuwa lang ako na magkaka-connect pala yun. So, trivia lang yung trivia.
Trivia, yes. It's always connected talaga. Of course, minsan di natin makikita yung line paano napunta doon. Some could have the history, will know the history. So, again, yoga means to control the senses. Even in the scriptures, maraming nag-try to control the senses as part of their perfection sa buhay nila. And this was recommended previously in Satya Yuga. They would meditate thousands of years, 10,000 of years, 1/10 ng buhay nila. Even magtago pa sila sa ilalim ng tubig or in the forest. Pero, Maya could be really tricky. Even those who are almost perfect na sa path ng meditation and yoga, they could fall down kay Maya. In the scriptures also, like some even saintly person, nabibictimize sila ng ganito, ng anger, ng sexual desire. One devotee that was not victimized by Maya is our Shri Haridas Thakur. So he's called the Nama Acharya. So he's the great teacher that spreads and chants Krishna's name. And may isang prostitute na was hired. So dati pa lang may mga ganito na, no? To bewilder his practice, to try to tempt him. Pero that prostitute, hindi siya makapenetrate kay Haridas Thakur. Kasi si Haridas Thakur, nagka-chant siya eh. Busy siya eh. He's chanting ilang rounds a day, 100 something rounds a day. I'm not quite sure. Basta parang 2 lakh name. 2 lakhs is 200,000 times i-chant yung name ni Krishna. So, in computation. Compute natin later kung ilang rounds yun. So, nagka-chance siya. So, pagkadating yung prostitute, sabihin niya, okay, sige, wait ka lang dyan. Tapos ganitong rounds ko, tapos later mapagbigyan kita. So, hanggang yung prostitute nakikinig lang ng habang nagka-chance si Harry Dastakur. Tapos may init na siya, alis na siya. Babalik na siya kinabukasan. And another day, of course, another rounds to finish yung gagawin ni Harry Dastakur. So, mag-aantay siya uli. Tapos, another day, hanggang ma-purify na yung prostitute. Tapos, nag-bow down na siya kay Harry Dastakur and she admitted kung bakit siya nandun, anong purpose. Pero, nag-surrender siya kay Harry Dastakur and he became also a devotee. Just by hearing, di pa siya nagka-chant nun. Yung bandang huli, sinasabay na yung chanting, pero hearing that holy name. And yung point na one is protected by Maya because of the holy name. Hindi siya basta-basta nadala ng holy name. Kasi the senses could be controlled by yoga, but devotional service is directly connecting to Krishna. So that's the power of the holy name that will tutuloy natin sa next verse. So text 35, it is text 36. O Vyasadeva, you are freed from all sins. Thus I have explained my birth and activities for self-realization. As you ask, all this will be conducive for your personal satisfaction also. Basahin natin text 37. Sutta Goswami said, thus addressing Vyasadeva, Srila Narada Muni took leave of him and vibrating on his Vina instrument, he left to wander at his free will. So this is what happened kung you could decipher saka tingnan natin yung story. Si Vyasadeva is free from all sin. Kinakausap siya ni Narada Muni and sabi niya, to satisfy your desire na tinanong mo yung life ko and to have self-realization. Ito yung nangyari sa akin. And we are learning palagi sa mga stories ng mga previous teachers natin. Just like what we just mentioned kay Haridas Thakur, kay Narada Muni, then we will learn from different incarnation of Krishna or different devotees. Because this is the good news that we want to hear. It is actually purifying. This is part of devotional service even. Chanting Krishna's name and hearing the glories. And ang effect nun, removing ng mga unwanted baggages natin. It will be easier to have and to control the mind if yung hearts natin will be cleansed sa mga baggages na to. We are really imprisoned by this previous karma, by the senses, the urge of the senses. Naalala ko when I was younger, early 2000s. So, vegetarianism and veganism, pa-boom pa lang yung veganism sa Pilipinas noon. Before ako mag-Hare Krishna actually, nag-vegan muna ako. That was my gateway. I was into music, mga subculture, then veganism. Then bago pa mauso yung ngayon kasi napakadami na gumagawa ng mga activists for animals. Back then, siguro mga 13 years old ako noon. I was not playing games sa mga video games and all. We were playing cops and robbers. Pero hindi kami robbers, kami yung mga activists. So marami na kami mga mga pamphlets and all for animal liberation. Kasi nahabol na kami ng cards kung saan-saan kasi we were protesting sa loob ng malls. So we were just like naughty cool kids. Tapos we are activists and anti-capitalist and all. So, ganun type of veganism. Kumbaga yung mga hardcore ngayon sa veganism, it is also a trend na. Back then, sobrang rare ka talaga when you were doing that. And we were so young. So, ang ginagawa namin, we're activists, hindi kami nag-rally lang just for something political. We are on the part na animal liberation. Tapos yung ibang friends ko, sila yung mga tipong activist and anti-capitalist din. Then, we're into music. So, parang I'm living a freedom life. We're fighting for freedom. Tapos yung kasama ko doon, ang pangalan niya Calcium. Hindi ko na siya makilala ngayon eh. Calcium kasi ang payat niya. Malaki siyang tao, tapos ang payat niya, tapos buto-buto siya, tawag namin Calcium. Tapos, everywhere we go, we are on gears, like a punk gear and everywhere. Parang ready kami to fight for freedom. Yung soul namin nun, soul and purpose namin nun. Pero nagulat ako sa mga kasama namin kasi yeah, we're fighting for freedom, not for capitalists, not for animal abuse. Pero may mga vices sila. Umiinom sila ng mga branded na mga beers. Tapos they're smoking branded cigarettes. Nagtataka na ako, teka lang. Kala ko we're fighting for anti-capitalist. Tapos we're looking for freedom. Yung sinusuportahan yung mga alak and cigarettes are the biggest, biggest company na sumisira sa nature, sumisira sa mga bahay ng mga animals. Sila yung capitalist na may mga hindi magandang labor um, treatment sa mga workers. Bakit ganun? Tapos hindi ko natanggap yung lifestyle na parang ako na-conclude namin na wala eh, different kind of poison lang naman. So kanya-kanyang fighting for freedom to be imprisoned to another kind of thing, kind of addiction or kind of sinusuportahan nila. We would like people would rally para matanggal yung president to have another corrupt president, to have another corrupt um, officials or leaders. 'Di ba? I will fight for something. I'm anti-vaccine kasi maraming chemical 'yan. Pero yung lifestyle ng tao na yun, nag-drugs din siya na puro chemical. So parang, teka lang, nalilito ako. So, it's another kind, it's a different flavors of poison. Different imprisonment. Alis siya dun sa isang imprisonment niya, pupunta siya sa another sa prison house. Kasi may different offering yung prison house na yon. So this is illusion. This is Maya. If one really comes to think of it with the sober thinking, oo nga no, mapapaisip kayo bakit ganito yung iniisip ng tao. And they are very vocal na ipaglaban yung isang bagay, papunta sa isang bagay. And I remember when I was before monk era, more monk days ko, nakapanood kami, naging hype yung movie na regarding a hero fighting for our country sa Philippines. Nakalimutan ko yung pangalan, something Luna. So, sobrang nag-hype yun. So, tapos paglabas ng mga tao sa sinehan, hype na hype sila na nationalistic tayo. Against tayo sa mga sumasakop sa sumasakop sa Pilipinas. Nabuhay yung ganun loob nila. So, parang, teka lang. Pero pag nakita mo yung taong lumabas sa sinehan na yon, yung mga suot niya branded galing sa Amerika o galing sa mga, alam mo yon, yung mga big countries, then they're looking for freedom. They're fighting for freedom. But again, taking shelter to another kind of colony na meron sila. Or just like thinking na we are only supporting our nation, not not realizing bakit sinasakop yung Philippines kasi yung other people from other countries, sinusuportahan nila yung nation din nila. And yung purpose ng nation nila is to conquer. So, parang, doesn't make sense. It's not the real freedom na merong hinahanap yung tao. And Srila Prabhupada and even Narada Muni is talking about the real freedom. Ano ba yung real freedom na to? Saan magiging free yung mga tao? Saan sila naging anxious? Sabi sa text number 37 in the purport, every living being is anxious for full freedom because that is his transcendental nature. Freedom. So ngayon, nakakulong na naman tayo because of the lockdown. So how do we choose para tayo maging free? Or ayaw lang natin wala lang tayong freedom to go out, pero in our own lifestyle pala, we're only making choices to be imprisoned in other things. Navadip Chandra Prabhu, what can you say about this freedom?
Gusto ko lang i-ano muna yung about sa sabi mo yung sa capitalist ganyan na pag-support na kunyari parang galit na galit sila ta's sinu-support naman din nila unknowingly parang gano'n. Na yun meron ding mga galit na galit sa gobyerno. Eh, kung galit ka sa gobyerno, eh, di wag kang gumamit ng kalsada, sila gumawa niyan, eh. 'Di ba parang napaka kung di natin alam parang napaka-hypocrite na dami nating, ah, ano, sinusuportahan din yung ano nung gobyerno na hindi natin alam. So, bago tayo kumbaga parang bago tayo mag-react, then let's tignan natin kung ano talaga yung ginagawa natin. Pero in that way, ah, yun tayo di naman tayo galit sa, gobyerno or what. I mean, um, ano lang, just let them be. Kung wala naman tayong magagawa, then we start on ourselves. We start on ourselves. Pero do sa aside from that, dun naman sa illusion, may naalala ako, eh. May naalala akong kuwento. Si Bill Gates, of course hindi pa naman siya ano, illustrative story lang 'to. Si Bill Gates hindi pa naman siya nagpa-pass away of course, pero naguguluhan na daw, kunyari lang, naguguluhan na si God kasi yung computer puwedeng gamitin sa mabuti and then puwedeng gamitin sa masama. So ngayon, sa story na kunyari nag-pass away na siya, "Oh, Bill Gates, um, ah, nag ngayon nandito ka na. May very special ka, eh. May dalawa kang ano, pagpipilian kasi yung computers ay nagagamit sa mabuti, so meron kang merit na mabuti. So, pupunta ka sa heaven. And then at the same time meron din nagagamit sa masama. So, kailangan mong pumunta rin sa hell. So, saan ang gusto mong unahin? Tignan ko muna yung sa hell, sabi ni Bill Gates. Tignan ko muna kung anong meron dun. O sige, punta siyang ganyan. O pinakita siya, paki-assist nga 'to na, kung nasaan yung hell and then pakita mo. Then nakita niya sa hell, ano, beach, white sand, ocean, tapos may yung payong na pang-beach, ta's, may beach volleyball na may beach na ball, yung makulay, and then merong coconut na fresh tapos may straw, ta's may upuan na maganda yung naka-slant, tapos mahangin, masarap yung breeze, gano'n. Ito ba yung hell? Okey, dito na lang muna ako, dito na ako. Okey, sige, eh, di umalis na yung assistant. Tapos ang nangyari pagkaalis ng assistant, biglang ano, biglang nagdilim. Tapos yun dumating na yung mga apoy ganyan, tapos ang daming nag-iiyakan, ang daming nagsisigawan. Nagulat siya, "Ba't gano'n?" Tapos tinawag niya ulit, nagsisigaw-sigaw siya. Wait, nasaan na yung ano, teka lang, nasaan na yung ano, yung nasaan na yung beach na maganda, yung it's look like paradise na may coconut, may ano, ganyan, nasaan na yun? Ay sorry, screensaver namin yun. So illusion, screensaver lang pala, Hare Krishna. So wag tayong masyadong magpapadala sa mga illusion, yung mga screensaver. So para para mawala tayo sa gano'n na illusion, eto nga, sabi nga daw, papasok na tayo dun sa freedom, itutuloy ka na. So ang pinaka-freedom natin is yung ano, yung if we follow the acharya, the gurus, spiritual master and the devotees, yung mga instruction nila is maano tayo dun, eh, dun tayo magkakaroon ng freedom. Kasi you know, kakaiba yung ano ng tao, eh, parang, "Ay magsu-surrender ako, wala na akong freedom." Ano, nasaan na yung freedom ko dun na lahat ng papagawa sa'kin gagawin ko. hindi natin alam yung tunay na freedom is freedom from sin, freedom from this misery, this ocean of misery, freedom from suffering pagka sinunod natin yung mga rules and regulation na yan or kung ano man yung instruction sa scripture, instruction ng spiritual master and mga kasama nating devotee na lagi nga sinasabi sa architecture eh, ito na naman sa architecture, na pag gumamit, pag hindi ka gumamit ng ruler, makakagawa ka ng line pero hindi siya straight o medyo ano siya, basta hindi siya straight, deteriorated siya. Baka saan pa pumunta yon. Pero pag gumamit ka ng ruler, straight siya. So that means that rules and regulation will bring us straight home back to Godhead. So, yun. Kaya nga, may rules. Yun yung rules, ito yung hindi mo gagawin. And then, yung regulation is yung do. Yun yung mga gagawin mo regularly. So, kaya, yun, do's and don't. So, in that way, mag-guide tayo. Kasi nga, lagi kong sinasabi, pagka sinundan lang natin yung senses, sinundan lang natin yung mind, hindi natin alam saan tayo pupulutin and lagi namang always fearful yung unknown. Kaya nga tayo natatakot sa ano eh, sa dilim eh. Kasi actually, pagka yung the same place na maliwanag, hindi tayo takot. Pero the same place na madilim, bakit tayo takot? Kasi unknown, hindi natin nakikita. So, kaya yung sa scripture, laging enlightenment, laging knowledge. Pag alam mo, after this life, kung saan ka pupunta, then you're okay. O sige, gagawin ko lang tong way na to, kung yung itong instruction na to, eh. Ito pala, pag ginawa ko pala to, itong pupuntahan ko. So, then, it's okay. Hindi tayo natatakot mamatay. Kasi alam naman natin yung pupuntahan natin eh. So, andun yung confident. And at the same time, gusto rin nating i-share sa iba na ma-benefit yung mga tao. And then may share lang natin yung happiness natin or yung confident or yung contentment dito sa material world na to na supposedly this is enough. Enough na tong illusion natin sa material world, then hoping to go back home, back to God in our humble attempt to please the Lord, please the devotee, please the spiritual master, and be happy. Sabi nga ni Prabhupada, chat and be happy. That's how simple it is. So yun, our life will become easy and sublime. Ayan.
Solid yun, solid yun. Basta ingat ka sa mga screensaver. So, napakatotoo nun kasi we are easily entertained. Parang yung amusement park eh. Ganun yung material world. Di ba? Uy, may roller coaster. Uy, may Ferris wheel. Uy, may may hotdog stand. Uy, alam mo yung binibisi tayo sa buhay eh. Not knowing, and pag tinanggal pala tong amusement park sa atin, bata pag nasa Enchanted Kingdom, pag uuwi na, bad trip na yan. Di ba? Lalo na pag medyo hindi pa sila solve. Di ba? Ayaw natin kasi feeling natin, ito yung freedom. Ganun yung tao mag-isip. Gusto na yung freedom na magagawa nila lahat ng sense gratification nila na walang pipigil. Illegalize lahat ng drugs. Illegal lahat ng crime illegalize na, kumbaga, 'di ba? Kasi feeling nila ito yung freedom na magawa nila yung gusto lang nila. Pero sa kadadali ng nung thinking na yon, 'di ba? Alam mo yon, it's either mapahama ka, makukulong ka, you could create crime, 'di ba? Or totally malos mo yung mind mo. It doesn't mean also na one is trying to become spiritual person, na wala siyang pakialam sa government, wala siyang pakialam sa paligid, sa authority ng earth na 'to, na humanity. One should still follow, 'di ba? One should be, a good citizen. For one to be able to not contribute sa, masamang nangyayari sa paligid, then just be a good citizen. Pero that is not the number one goal lang. The real goal is to have that revolution, not the material revolution, because it is just changing a different kind of prison. The real revolution is the spiritual revolution. You start with yourself spiritually. Automatic, when I was younger, dun ko nalalaman na, oo nga no, hanggang ngayon mas punks pa rin ako sa mga punks na mga nakasama ko. Di ba? So, yung lifestyle, wala akong mohawk. Di ba? Pero yung lifestyle is still there. Na um, you're trying to be free from that illusion na binibigay ng material energy. You're striving for it. And hindi mo lang ginagawa mag-isa yon. Nagawa mo rin in unison sa mga other devotees, and also trying to save other souls. Trying to spread that. Nag-iba lang yung language, hindi na out of anger to wake up other people, pero out of love and kindness to spread that. So, ang daming kind of imprisonment na meron tayo. Imprisonment natin sa senses natin, even imprisonment natin sa false ego. Tignan mo, meron din kakaibang imprisonment, yung thinking na tayo palagi yung tama. Di ba? Na lahat ng mangyayari sa paligid, yung standard na ginagawa ko, ito yung tama. Or lahat ng tao, pag may ginawa sila na ma-offend nyo ako, mali kayo kasi na-offend nyo ako. That is a different kind of imprisonment. Yung false ego tayo pinaglalaroan. So we have to be free from that even. So that's the real freedom. And Narada Muni and all the scriptures, all the teachers are explaining ano yung imprisonment na meron tayo rito. And the mind is not always our best friend. For it to become a best friend, kailangan natin to control it. The best way to control it is to be under the shelter of the spiritual teacher. Doesn't mean na may sinusunod ka rules and regulation, di ka na free. This will bring us to the ultimate freedom. It doesn't mean you have to follow blindly also. You have to study. You have to really know kung ano yung susundin mo. Diba? That's humanity. That is also part ng spirituality. Diba? And to follow in the footsteps ng mga great acharya, great spiritual master, great devotee, is a way to freedom, sabi nga ni Navadip Chandra Prabhu. And to read yung text number 38 natin. All glory and success to Srila Narada Muni, because he glorifies the activities of the personality of Godhead. And so doing, he himself takes pleasure and also enlivens all the distressed souls of the universe. Because of his glorification kay Krishna, because of his chanting of Hare Krishna, and because because of this, na-enliven niya yung souls sa paligid, all the parts of the universe. Because everyone is imprisoned in this big universe. This is not our real home. Our real home is back home, back to Godhead, back sa spiritual world with Krishna, Loka Vrindavan. That is the real freedom. That is the ultimate freedom. So it doesn't mean we are in lockdown, or even if one is imprisoned in the real prison house, he could also be free by our activities. So if we are facing lockdown now, please also please do take care. Pero we have the ultimate tool to have the freedom na makukuha natin. We have the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita. You have your chanting beads, 'di ba? We could associate online to work on our real freedom. So today is one of the celebration na most awaited. Even the demigods are waiting for this day to come, yung appearance ni Lord Chaitanya. It is very sweet, and one of the merciful and the most sweetest incarnation ni Krishna is si Lord Chaitanya, where he opened the floodgates ng love for Godhead. Yung chanting ng Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we should be always thankful to Lord Chaitanya, because by him, yung freedom na to could be easily attained. We could be free sa miseries of life, free from our anxiety, our depression, from all the sufferings, just by chanting Krishna's name. Ganun siya ka-powerful. Kasi si Krishna and himself and all his energies, he invested sa holy name niya, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And the personification na yun is si Lord Chaitanya. So, lipat tayo sa room ni Guru Maharaj at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And there is a very nice ceremony, a Diksha ceremony or initiation ceremony where one accepts a disciple, a guru accepts a disciple, and one surrenders to attain the ultimate freedom to a spiritual master. It will be an initiation by His Holiness Giridhari Swami Guru Maharaj at 10:30 to 12, same room ni Guru Maharaj. So we could join 8 to 9 and 10:30 to 12 to witness that and be inspired sa practice ng Krishna consciousness. At the same time, there are a lot of programs today that we could see. There will be 2 sessions ng Village Talk, specifically this, we will discuss regarding the pastimes and glories ni Lord Chaitanya. And other activities in the temple will be broadcast in Zoom and also in um, Facebook. Same channel ng Village Talk natin. So maraming salamat na Vidip Chandra Prabhu. Prabhus and Mataji's, thank you very much. We should aim for the freedom and we should not be afraid of all the lockdown na meron tayo rito because we have the ultimate key and password to attain the love for God and to attain Krishna, our real home. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Chaitanya ki jai. Gora Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Have a good morning, everyone.
Punta tayo sa room ni Guru Maharaj. Hare
Let's
Krishna.
go.
See you there. Classmate tayo in a while. So, ingat kayo sa mga screensaver niya.